Hey everybody, it's Cody here, and today we're going to go over the Elementor image widget. The image widget is a very popular widget, and it's an effective, useful widget. Um, Images on your site can really help your site pop. It can help tell a story. It can really elevate the experience of a site. And so today we're going to go over how to add the Elementor image widget to your site. So here we go. So first, I have this container built out. This is just a demo container, and we have some copy here, and then we have an image. So let's pretend that this image wasn't here. So let's go ahead and we're going to delete that. We're going to start from the top. So first, you go to Add Element, find the image widget, grab it, and drag it over to where you want it. And you're going to see Elementor identifies with that purple line where it's going to land. So it gives us this with a filler image there. The way we change this to the image that we want there is we click on this, and this takes us to our WordPress media folder. And so you see I have the image here that we need to use, but if you have images on your machine, go ahead and just click Upload Files and then select those files and then upload them into your media library. Next, you select the photo that you want added onto the image widget. And a couple things I want to point out over here is we see some fields here that we can type some stuff in. So you're going to see your image in the description there. The alt text, what the alt text is doing is if for whatever reason your image goes down or it's not there, this will be the text that is applied when the image is missing. Search engines also look for this text, so this can help you with SEO. The title is going to be, it's auto-filled, and this just pulls, as you can see here, the file name. It adds it there. Caption is going to be if you want to give the image a longer description. So like news agencies and things like that use the caption feature quite a bit. I almost never use it. And the description is this is going to be if you want text under the image on the page. So you can go ahead and add that there. So now that we have our image, we go ahead and click select, and we are in the content tab. So we see this image is now added there. Image resolution is an option for you to select what just some kind of out of the box sizes for you. So you got thumbnail, medium, so on. I almost always use full in applications like this. You're gonna have the caption. So like what I was showing you just a little bit ago in the WordPress media folder is you can add those captions. You can also attach it there, or you can use a custom one. You can come down here and type what you want. So you see there's some text in there that's styled in a grayish color, so it's hard to see, but it's there. This is a dynamic tag. I think you have to have Elementor Pro to have this option. And what this does is if you use the dynamic tag, this allows you to pull content from other places in the site. So if you want to select one of these, it allows you to do that, and it then adds it under the image. And then if you are using this, I believe you can style this over in the style tab. But for this example, I'm not going to use one. Link, media file. This is where we can set up Lightbox. And what that does is if you click yes, what happens is when you select the photo, it opens up this here. And so that's the Lightbox. I use this a lot on photo galleries. So you do have that option with photos. So I'm going to go ahead and just set it to default. The default setting is that it is not active. So now that I have it set at default, oh, it looks like it is working there. So we're going to go ahead and click back on this and then set it to none. There we go. Okay, so we're going to exit out of that. Now what we're going to do is jump over to the Style tab. And this is where you can add some styling to the image, make it a little bit more what you want. Here's the alignment. You can make the width. One thing to keep in mind is the max width. Elementor sets this at 100% out of the box. So you don't see anything there, but it is set to 100%. One thing worth noting is if you set the height, you see how the image gets a little squished there. There's an object fit option, and now it's set at default. But if you want to do something like contain or something like that, it's going to help you. And then you can align where it's at. So if you want to put it over there, And then there's these other options here. So if you want to play around with that to try to get the style you're going for, you can. And I'm going to set the height at out of the box height. And one thing to mention here is you're going to see all these little desktop icons here. What that means is you're setting this style for desktop. So you want to click on that to get the viewport that you want to make your edits on. I also want to draw your attention up here. You can also select those viewports up here. Next is we have the normal settings. So this means when a user scrolls onto this container, they're going to see this. And you can set the opacity so you see how it kind of blends the photo. We're going to go ahead and set that back to 0. You can add CSS filters. This is where you can play around with some of this stuff to get cool effects on the image. You can also set the same things on hover. So if we set opacity, it's not going to do that until you hover your mouse over it. Same with the CSS filters. One thing that hover does have is a hover animation. So I don't know, we'll pick, I'm not sure what grow rotate does. Let's pick that one and see what it does. So when I hover over it, it kind of has this effect on it. And the transition duration will affect the speed on that hover. So you see how it's slowed down a little bit? Where then if we turn it down to 0, much quicker. So we're going to go ahead and leave these settings off for now. None. Set that to there. And next, what we're going to get into is border type. So what we can do here is you can set a solid border around it. If you want to do something, make a thicker border, you can go ahead and do that. So you see how this border is coming in. And I want you to keep in mind, I have all of the 4 directions linked. If you want to not have that linked and have a little bit bigger of a border on one side than the other, you can do that there. So if you link it back together and hit 0, it gets rid of that border. So that's where you do border. Again, default is at no border. Border radius. This is the spot where you can make this a circle image if you want. So again, these are locked, but what you're going to need to do is change the units to percentage and then change this to 50. And you see you have a circle. If you want to unlink this and kind of get oblong shapes, you can, mess around with this. If you get rid of that, you can kind of do some sort of oblong stuff there. Again, feel free to play around with that and see what you can come up with. Excuse me. Box shadow. Go ahead and click this. It's kind of hard to see in that grayish background. So if we do like a yellow or something, you're going to go ahead and see how it looks like the image is glowing a little bit there. Again, that's the box shadow. And then you can affect the shadow with all of these settings here. I'm going to go ahead and reset that. And that is where the box shadow is at. Now that is the majority of the image widget, but there's one more setting that I want to show you that I do enjoy using. And this is going to be an advanced. I won't go through too much of this stuff, but what I do like is the motion effects feature. What you can do is then select scrolling effects, turn that on. And if we do a vertical scroll, you can see how the image moves. So kind of when you move up, when you scroll. So earlier we covered hover effects. This is now scrolling effects. Again, you can affect the speed, so it's much quicker. I always like very subtle. If I do use animations of any sort, I like subtle ones. So the image moves. You see how we have a little space down there, and you can do that. I recommend playing around with these. You can do some really cool stuff, and I hope you get to create something really cool with the Elementor image widget. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.